All right. Welcome back to Eclectic Trains. I'm XRCoon42, and I've got a very exciting new arrival. I actually saw this engine up close and personal at Strasbourg a couple years ago, so this is very exciting. This is the new Fox Valley / Scaletrains Norfolk and Western J class. I know I usually focus my collection more on British engines, but that's partially because they are generally just a lot cheaper than their American counterparts. This cost me twice what a Hornby Pacific does, so this is not cheap. But given the features and construction of it, you know it's probably worth the price. But specifically, this is number 611 in her current condition, 2015 onwards. Let's get this box open. Got a little manual here. This will be my first ever engine from Scaletrains, but I've heard nothing but praise for them. A little bit of maintenance instructions to connecting the tender. Just general operation instructions. DCC functions, DCC fitting if you have the analog version. I have the sound and smoke version. Function lists. And then there's a photo of the real engine. Or the big reveal. Let's start with the tender. Nice hard foam. Actually, there's some accessories in here. So what we've got here, a spare set of drivers. Presumably this is just a set with this is just an extra set with a spare traction tire on it, it looks like. And a handy little tool, a little nut spinner for turning the crank pins. And then a spare set of traction tires. Now, for those of you in my UK-based audience who are wondering why such an engine like this would need traction tires, I see this asked by people all the time. It's just standard practice here in the US that models have traction tires no matter their size and weight. Fancy brass hybrid engines from Broadway Limited that cost you $600+ will have traction tires in them because it's just a standard include here. Even this tender weighs a ton. Wow. But see, when you say all die-cast construction, this is what I think of. Die-cast tender, even. There's a few marks on it. Might just be fogging because it's been traveling through some cold weather here. And now let's get to the loco herself. There she is. The spirit of Roanoke herself. Just about knocked my camera over there. I'll get a better shot of the cab interior later. Let me get this connected, I'll stick it on the track. And now I've got her down onto the track. Now, I've seen some people say that the proportions of this model are off. I personally don't like super see it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are the proportions of this okay? Are they on point or are they off? Let me know what you think. Either way, I still think the model is absolutely gorgeous. It's made entirely of die-cast metal. Some nice wire handrails along the side. There's what appears to be a builder's plate. See if I can get that. It'll focus. Yeah, that appears to be a builder's plate. That's beautiful. Fully legible. There's a handrail on the shrouding. A couple of different lights. There's a auxiliary coupler in here. Let's see if I can get it out. There we go. I did test that during the break-in period, and it does fully work. Like, you can actually use that, so that's really nice. All the decoration around the side is on point. Got the chimney, there's a smoke unit in there. There's a whistle, some safety valves, some hatches on the cab roof. Bogie detail is on point. This is one point I do see where they're coming from, is the side rods do look a tiny bit too chunky. All the markings on the cylinder are on point. That tender is absolutely gorgeous. There's some water filler caps and a ladder back there. There's a lamp on the back. There's a tender fall plate that's fully adjustable. And I'm actually gonna some people don't like this tender plug, and I get it, it doesn't look the greatest, but it's a lot more convenient than simply having a bunch of wires. It's a lot more convenient than having a bunch of wires, so I don't mind it. See if we can get inside the cab, get the look inside the cab here. There we go. Yeah, fully painted cab interior, it looks like. There's some curtains in there that look really good. That back head is exquisite. All the gauges and such are painted. There we go, there's a good look for you. There, yeah. I'm no expert, so I don't know what all the controls are called and everything, but that looks fabulous. If we look at the front of the tender, there's a lot of warning signs. That's where the coal load is. The bogie detail looks really good. There's a water scoop on the underside. There's your coupler cut bar, some handrails. Now I'll get that coupled back together and then I'll apply track power. 1 second. There we go. Now we got the headlight turned on, function 0. Function 3 turns the smoke unit on and off, putting out a nice idle plume. It's blowing toward the camera because I've got an air conditioner in the background running. It's real humid here right now. And function 8 turns the sound on. The only smoke feature on this engine is the synchronized smoke unit. Not like that Challenger I looked at last time that had the whistle smoke. Here's the bell. I do have to say, I really like the sound system in this engine. There's a speaker in the engine, and there's 2 speakers in the tender. And one of the speakers in the tender is a bass unit, so the sound is really full. And then here's the whistle. There's a few different ways you can get that off of the one function. See if I can remember which function these are. But those these marker lights up here will turn on. That appears to have turned on the dynamo. Let's take a look at our slow speed. There we go. The fact that this model could do that when it's made of full die-cast is seriously impressive. I don't know what kind of torque they've got in these. And there's your synchronized smoke working properly. And the acceleration. Very gentle. The performance of this is very enjoyable. And it appears to have some really good acceleration and deceleration pre-programmed in from the factory, which I really like. That's a nice touch. See the reverse. There's a cab light that turns on when it's there's a cab light that turns on when it's slow or it's static. Also absolutely perfect in reverse. Well, one of the functions I turned on was the cab light. Let's see if I can get that full plate in the right position. A second. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and get some coaches coupled up to this, and we'll have a running session. Okay, my final thoughts here. So, it's a beautiful model, whether or not the proportions are accurate. The feature rating gets a 4 out of 5. Doesn't have all of the bells and whistles that Challenger we looked at last time had, but it's still got enough that you feel like you got your money's worth out of it. The sound system that's in it is great. The DCC settings get a 5-star for me. The sound volume is perfect. The control settings are perfect. The acceleration and deceleration are perfect. Nothing really to complain about. And the quality of the build, well, there's no glue marks anywhere. It's easily accessible for maintenance. All of the stamping and molding and everything is on point. And I think that just about covers everything. This has been Scaletrains with the Fox Valley models, Norfolk and Western J-Class from the XMTH tooling. Hope you enjoyed. I've got another review on a new engine coming up soon. Sorry it took me so long to get this one out. Just stuff kept coming up. But better late than never, you know? This is XRCream42 with Scaletrains signing off. Have a good day, evening, night, whatever.